What's up, guys? Day one of the Ultimate Reset. If you're wondering what that is, it's a 3-week cleanse broken up into 3 different weeks, where the first week you have a little bit of animal protein, second week it's vegetarian, third week we're all vegan and very little protein. So just taking a break from asking the body to process protein, which is a big job. I've got a bunch of people, well, not a bunch of people, I've got a smaller group of people. I'd like to have more people, but this is kind of a tough time of year for people to do this. It's October, or what is it, November 3rd today. And so we're just here getting ready for Thanksgiving with a cleanse. But I do have a few people who are doing it with me, and I wanted to give them some tips and tricks on how to make this thing more manageable. It can be, if you're going to cook all the food on here and not use any substitutions and follow it 100%, it's a lot of work. It is. And so I want to give you guys some tips on how to make it easy, and then show you what I'm having for dinner tonight, because I'm not having salmon. I'm supposed to, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So first of all, this is the kit. This is the box it comes in. I leave everything in this box, and the way you see it here is pretty much how I leave it. I have my menu for the day. I've got my little card of whatever it is that I need to, the supplement schedule basically. I've got this handy, and it just kind of sits like that. And then I can come over and look at it real easy. If you can't spread it out like this, make sure you take a picture of this with your cell phone. Okay, so you just got it with you. I know I always have my phone with me, and I don't always have this little schedule with me, and this thing is really handy. After a while, it gets, you start doing it like clockwork, believe me. But in week 2, you'll add another supplement. The schedule changes a little bit every week. So just take pictures of all 3 weeks, and then you always have them with you. And I leave it in the box. I think it's just easier. It's got everything I need when I need something. I just pull it out, take it, boom, done. So those are kind of recommendations for how to handle this. Let's talk a little bit about meal plan stuff. So I'll tell you, here's a great example. I'm so glad. This is totally the reason I filmed this video, because if you're looking at this and you're in my group, you're saying, well, day one, Dave, is not Southwest rice tacos or whatever we call them. It's salmon, asparagus, and potatoes. Well, I went to the store, and the salmon looked kind of funky, but I was going to go, all right, I can still do the salmon. There was no asparagus. So I was out. I said, all right, call an audible. We'll cook something else from the meal plan, because I didn't want to go to another store and deal with all the nonsense. And you're perfectly able to do that, okay? So if you're, like tomorrow, here's a great example. Tomorrow's breakfast is blueberries and oatmeal. The next day is a fruit salad. I'd rather have the fruit salad. So I'll probably eat fruit salad tomorrow. I don't know, maybe if it's cold or something, I'll have the oatmeal, but I don't really like oatmeal that much, So I'd rather have the fruit, so I'll probably have that tomorrow. That's okay. As long as you're within the week and the snacks you're allowed for that week and the stuff that's on here for that week, you're fine, okay? You're totally fine doing that. You need to just make sure you're just eating one of these recipes or a few of these recipes even, and you're fine. And that's kind of what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna make, instead of making the salmon and all that, I'm gonna make the what do they call it? Southwestern Veggie Taco. So it's really simple. I just go over here to page 98. I won't drag you through this entire thing, by the way. I'm just going to show you how this works. And here's a little recipe for it. Southwestern Veggie Taco. Super simple. Quarter of an avocado mashed, some pico de gallo, cup and a quarter of black beans and rice, and there's a recipe on how to mix black beans and rice together. Quarter cup of cooked corn, that's the corn right there. Tortillas, which are just in the fridge. And I'll just make that. And I'll make that. And I'm kind of set up to make kind of a double portion of it, so that if I really like it, maybe I can save some and make it, later in the week, in case I can't find something else that I need at the store or whatever. Just be flexible with it. That's the thing. I think you've got to really take some time with this deal and understand why you're doing it. What's going on for you that you need to do this? If you have some sort of medical issue and it needs to be spot on for you so that maybe you can get off a medication or something like that, okay, then you should take this really super seriously. You should eat everything the way it is. That's how Monica does it. When Monica does this, she's a lot more rigid about it than I am. I'm just kind of lazy, I guess. But they tell you can vary within the week, so I vary within the week, and sometimes that means I eat the same meal twice. I will tell you, there's some amazing food on here. This thing has really taught me how to cook. When we did this the first 2 times, I cooked a lot of meals. Probably more the second time I was cooking more meals, because I kind of just learned how to do it. And there's some great recipes in here that I still make variations of now. So go for it, be adventurous, cook stuff, but understand that, if you have, here's a good example, okay? One of the things I do, I'll show you this. Now that's Anyway, Trader Joe sells these little salads. Okay, it's a little salad from Trader Joe. The worst thing in here is the dressing, and it's all on the side. So we'll go to Trader Joe's and we'll buy a bunch of these little box salads. So just in case I get lazy and I don't break out the microgreens and add the, third of a quarter of a cup of kale or whatever so that it's the perfect salad as per the recipe. If I just really need to eat a chicken salad, which is something that I have for lunch tomorrow, I just take this out, ditch the dressing. I've got olive oil, vinegar, lemon juice. There's a bunch of different recipes. There's a really good like mustard Dijon one that's in here. That is fantastic. And I just ditch their dressing and make my own. And is that like perfect? Is that what the book says? Exactly organic chicken? No. Is this bad for you? I just can't imagine that on what planet that eating a salad is bad for you. So you have to kind of take it for what you want to get out of it, okay, and focus on that. So I don't know. Those are kind of day one thoughts on how to get through this thing. I'm sorry if I'm rambling a little bit. I tell you, I have been drinking a lot of coffee lately, and they tell you to ramp down your intake of anything that's not allowed on here, and I have not. I've been killing it on the coffee and everything else. So I am excited to be here. I'm excited for day one and get this thing going, and I'm going to cook dinner now and watch some football.